Welcome back. We've been talking about it all morning, the inaugural Pride Festival celebrating the LGBT community. It gets underway in Jeffersonville, Indiana today. Yeah. Evan Stoner, the organizer of this year's event, joining me now with everything you need to know and you can expect on the other side of the bridge. Good morning to you, Evan.
Good morning.
So glad to have you. 365 days ago.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound cliche, but you literally had a dream. You had an idea. Let's talk about what made you say it is time.
Well, I think what I finally came to the conclusion was, this was a long process for myself. I've described this entire year as a true learning experience, but sitting there and realizing that there is more that I can do to help solve a problem than just tweet about it. And I decided that it was time to take action, and that's where really the original conception for Jeffersonville Pride began.
I don't even think I realized that. There's your tweet you're talking about. I saw it last night, made me think about, wow, it was a year ago. And so talk about that process to get everything you need to properly host it, and you had to get with city officials too.
Right. Well, actually the very first thing I did was I emailed Mayor Mike Moore, who has been an incredible supporter from the get-go. He has had an open door. His phone line has been on all the time where I can call him and he can give me advice. He's been a true supporter of this the entire time. But we had to work with city leaders. We had to work with officials in the city to get the permits that we needed required, to go to the events committee to make sure that our event could be approved, to make sure that we're working with the police department to ensure road closures, and to ensure all the permits that we need for the event.
I didn't even realize how many different avenues you have to go down.
It really is.
So let's talk about the event itself, the type of vendors. It's more than just the parade, and there's going to be vendors there as well.
Yes, we have over 50 vendors, local businesses, organizations, religious groups, so jewelry. We're going to have tons of vendor mall, really. It's going to be a vendor mall. So people can, come through and walk, and there's going to be food vendors. We're going to have a volleyball net set up. We're going to have live music all day. So it's really going to be an incredible day full of fun.
And so what about costs?
It is all free. The festival is completely free for everyone. So come downtown Jeffersonville. The parade is going to go down Spring Street, and then the festival, of course, will be at Big Four Station.
Parking, what are your recommendations for that?
Really, it's first come, first serve. There are parking spaces available in downtown Jeffersonville, so if you're wanting to get a close parking spot, I would just say come a little bit early. But there is, of course, going to be the potential for having to park a little bit far away to walk in, so just make sure you're wearing comfortable shoes.
So, there's a Louisville Pride, there's a Kentuckiana Pride that we just had last weekend, but talk about why you thought a Pride was needed over in Hoosier State in southern Indiana.
Well, first of all, the reality is much different than it is in Louisville, Kentucky, than it is in southern Indiana. So we are a little bit farther back, when it comes to acceptance, when it comes to welcoming the LGBT+ community. And Indiana in and of itself has had some pretty bad stories go out in the recent months and almost year in regards to the LGBT+ community. But what Jeffersonville Pride is doing is really the first time that we're able to introduce our community to all of Jeffersonville and to all of southern Indiana, and prove that we are an accepting and a loving community, and that we have the potential to be a community that accepts and loves everyone.
Let's go ahead and get into the nation's deadliest mass shooting now ever, just 2 weeks ago in Orlando. I know security had to be at the forefront of your mind. I talked to you 2 weeks ago. Necessary steps, I'm sure, were taken.
Of course. Our team met with the Jeffersonville Police Department and the mayor and other city officials, really to get on the same page. But I am very confident in the Jeffersonville Police Department and the city. They have been planning a safety plan for months now, but what happened after Orlando was that plan was really just ramped up a little bit, and we're going to ensure everybody's safety, and I'm really looking forward to a safe event.
Personally, when you woke up that Sunday morning on the 12th, what was going through your mind when you were seeing the devastation, the death toll numbers, and just some of that aftermath in Orlando? Well,
the very first thing when I woke up, I was very angry. It was almost like a smaller scale process of what happened when I first started, when the conception for Jeffersonville Pride first happened. It was the anger, it was the confusion, and then it was the what can we do? Where are the solutions? What is the next step? It's heartbreaking. It's just, there's no other way to explain it. I was really speechless that entire morning. But 8 hours later, actually the day later when we had the vigil at Big Four
Yes.
Station, it was heartwarming to see the community come together, the Southern Indiana community and the Louisville community meeting together at the middle of Big Four Bridge to stand there in solidarity with the LGBT plus community. It was incredible.
And I was looking at some of those pictures. A lot of elected officials
Yes.
came. I don't think people realized that too.
Yes.
Warmed your heart, didn't it?
It did.
Let's talk about, someone watching at home or parents, they may want to show their pride. They might be afraid to, considering what happened in Orlando, or just maybe that backlash and that fear of rejection. Talk about that.
The people in this world who seek to do us harm or any human being harm, they are trying to get you to be scared. They want you to stop living your life the way you choose to live your life. They want you to stop going out and enjoying yourself the way you always enjoy yourself. So do not let those people get to you. Do not let them change your way of life. Go out, show your pride, show your love, your support for this community, for the LGBT community, and for everybody as a human race.
Go ahead and plug Twitter and Facebook so people can get more information today.
Yeah, it's www.jeffpridefestival.org is our Twitter, or excuse me, our website, and then our Twitter is @JeffPrideFest.
Perfect. Okay, the inaugural Jeffersonville Pride happening today at the Big Four Station. It will start with a parade, and then the festival will open. You will find a link to the group's website on our website following this newscast. You are 18 years old, and you are phenomenal. Thank you for getting up this morning, and I wish you the very best, okay?
Thank you, Tabney.
My pleasure. Let's go ahead and send it over to Reed.